Straight ahead on TV2 News live at 5:30. Who's Dexter and what is this new K-9 doing on campus? We'll tell you.
And will this bone-chilling weather stick around? Find out in Robert Carroll's first forecast.
And see what the Kent State football team ran into when traveling to Buffalo. This is Portage County's only truly local newscast.
From the award-winning Kent State Student Media Newsroom, this is Portage County's TV2 News.
Cold weather continues to grip Ohio and most of the country. Good evening, Kent State and all of Portage County. I'm Michael Bratton.
And I'm Alexa Maslowski. The weather conditions here in Northeast Ohio aren't exactly ideal, but they're nowhere near the conditions in Buffalo, New York, where residents are currently trapped under 4 feet of snow.
Yeah, and the storm has claimed the lives of 5 New York residents already, and schools are expected to remain closed throughout the rest of the week. We spoke to a resident of Derby, New York, an area that sits just south of Buffalo, earlier today.
The street kind of is flush with my yard, like you can't even see the street. It looks like part of our front yard.
Wow.
I don't think in my whole entire life I've experienced this much snow, even growing up. People are really, really friendly. You know, they'll offer you rides if they go past you, or, you know, everybody's trying to help everybody, like your neighbors are snow blowing and shoveling everybody, but it also makes you very depressed. Because you feel trapped, and you know, I haven't been to work in 2 days. I don't think the schools are going to be open. I don't think they're going to be open the rest of the week. And, you know, you can't get out. You're stuck in the house. I don't like that trapped feeling either, you know.
Well, thankfully, nothing like that
Nowhere
around here.
near
No
there.
5 to 6 feet of snow.
Exactly.
So, but
I mean, that might be a little bit fun to maybe build an igloo.
Not that
or
much snow.
I just don't like the cold. I'm fine with snow. We can have as much snow as we want. If it was 60 degrees and it was snowing, that would be fine.
it's not possible.
But that doesn't work like that.
So Robert Carroll joins us now with a look at our first forecast. Robert.
Thank you very much, Michael. Definitely not the situation that they're dealing with in Buffalo, but we do have a few scattered snow showers across Northeast Ohio. Nothing too significant, but that snow westerly flow off Lake Erie is just dumping almost up to 6 feet of forecast snow. I'm not even 6 feet tall, so I probably wouldn't do well in Buffalo, but much better here in Northeast Ohio. They're only getting an inch or two out of today's system. And then right now in Kent, it is currently 29 degrees. We have a strong west-southwest wind out there at 15 to 20 miles per hour, which is creating much chillier conditions, And then around the area, you'll see most temperatures are in the 30s right now, and 20s, few locations coming in the upper 20s as well. There we go, 30 in Youngstown, 26 Ashtabula, 33 Mansfield, 34 in Sandusky, 35 in Worcester. And so the Arctic air is going to continue for a couple days there. And then we're going to warm up by the end of the weekend. Unfortunately, with that warm up, it is going to bring a lot of rain. We'll talk about all that and much more in my full forecast. Michael?
Thank you, Robert. We'll look forward to that forecast coming up here later in the newscast. But the Kent State football team found itself on an unexpected journey last night. Our Daniel Henderson, has more on the snowstorm causing trouble for the football team in Western New York. Daniel?
Thank you, Michael. Severe weather conditions in Western New York are setting records and causing delays as the Buffalo area continues to dig itself out of one of the worst snowstorms they've seen in a long time. The Kent State football team headed to the area for their game against the University at Buffalo tonight.
Lake effect snow is nothing new to residents of the Northeast, but the current conditions in Buffalo, New York are anything but average. With snowfall rates as high as 5 inches an hour, some parts of the area are under states of emergency because of the impassable travel conditions. According to the National Weather Service, there are some suburbs with 76 inches of snow on the ground. These conditions did not bode well for the Kent State football team, who traveled to Buffalo last night for their game against the Bulls tonight. Because of the road conditions, the team traveled an alternate route that turned a 3-hour trip into an 11-hour journey.
So what that was is probably an extra 150 miles than what we would normally take to Buffalo. But the entire trip, we did not see more than a couple inches of snow. The roads were clear. They weren't icy at all.
Aaron Chimenti, who traveled with the team, says conditions at the University at Buffalo and in the city are not nearly as bad as they are in the surrounding suburbs. So he expects no major change to the game plan.
You may see teams run the ball a little bit more, but as of yesterday, it was just a very light dusting on UB's campus.
The Niagara University women's basketball team was also affected by the snow. Instead of driving around the storm, they got stranded in the middle of it. It took 26 hours and a team of 5 men and 2 heavy-duty snowplows to get the bus moving again. The Golden Flashes game against the Bulls tonight has been postponed. For more on that game, we turn to our sports anchor, Joe Billheimer. Joe?
Thanks, Daniel. Like you said, the game was originally scheduled to kick off tonight at 8, but due to that inclement weather, the game was postponed by officials. Now, according to College Football Talk, those same officials are exploring the idea of playing the game tomorrow because this is a very important game for Buffalo in terms of the bowl race. Now, the Flashes are having their worst season in quite a few years, only 1 victory so far. That win came on homecoming against Army. Buffalo and Kent State are tied in the all-time series, each having won 10 games. Now the Flashes, if this game ever kicks off, will be looking for their first MAC win since last season at Ohio when Dree Archer went off. And there's no starting quarterback right now set in stone, so you may see Colin Reardon, you may see the redshirt freshman Nathan Strock, but follow us on Twitter at TV2 KSU Sports for any information that we may receive. Alexa?
Thanks, Joe. This morning, Kent State University Police welcomed a new member to its ranks. TV2's Tyler Carey joins us live from our newsroom with more on this delightful new addition. Tyler?
Thank you, Alexa. His name is Dexter, and the state of Ohio selected Kent State and 4 other universities to receive this specific type of officer. But what makes Dexter so special? Well, for starters, he's a year and a half old, and he's officially known as a Belgian Malinois.
He's the star of the show.
Yes. Meet Dexter, the newest member of the Kent State University Police Force. He may only be a year and a half old, but he now has an important job as KSU's second explosive detection canine. Officer Miguel Witt is Dexter's new partner. The two spent the last 5 weeks training in Columbus together, where Witt says Dexter learned the importance of being independent.
He has to feel confident that he can lead me to where the odor is coming from without me having to say, go ahead, it's okay. You know, like when we're working, and if he really smells an odor when we're training, like he's doing now, that's what he's supposed to do.
Dexter's employment status is paid for through a grant from Ohio Homeland Security. But with the number of bomb threats to the university relatively low, and with one canine, Coco, already working for the department, some wonder if Dexter's services are really needed. However, Ohio Public Safety Director John Bourne says much of what these units do isn't seen by the public, adding that they are essential to making sure big events are safe.
Sometimes bad things happen, and so we want to make sure that we have steps in place to make sure that things are able to stabilize and recover. But an investment in an explosive canine is probably one of the most important preventative measures that we can take, and what Kent State is committing to in this collaboration and partnership is beyond measure.
But this day was not about any potential danger. It was about the university welcoming Dexter, and Dexter enjoying being the center of attention.
And after the press conference, TV2 caught up with Kent State students for their opinions on the new arrival.
Dogs in general are, a lot better than people at making decisions like that. They're very naturally protective, and especially police dogs who are trained to be that way. So I feel like a dog on campus is absolutely a good idea and definitely makes me feel a lot safer.
Yeah, I think having that extra protective element on campus does make me feel a lot safer.
No, not at all.
It actually makes me feel a little nervous and kind of confused. Not in my time here have I seen one before, so just makes me wonder why now.
Now, according to KSU Police Chief John Peach, Dexter and Coco's abilities will not be limited to campus. Just yesterday, both dogs were called into Talmadge to investigate a bomb threat at a local pharmacy. Fortunately, nothing was found. Michael?
All right, thank you, Tyler. Now the land where the new Kent State Architecture building is set to go is now being cleared. This morning, crews started taking down trees and clearing debris from the property. Once completed, the new building will stand between Lincoln and Willow Streets. Expected completion is set for 2016. Well, still to come on TV2 News, check out what's new in New York City. We'll show you something in Times Square you won't be able to miss.
On Halloween, but see what police were doing inside one campus building that night.
And can we expect to see winter weather continue this weekend? Find out in my full 7-day forecast coming up.